We're road tripping Eastern Europe for 30 days, driving over 4,000 miles to see the best the Balkans has to offer. So, let's get on with today's video. We've just arrived in Croatia, and I was going to wait till we get to Dubrovnik to start filming this video, but Jack has just tried to park the van under that shelter there. We've got a huge van, and he's just scraped the top of the van. And like the window was open on top, we had to shut it. But if that weren't open, he would have kept going and just hit the rooftop bed at the back and absolutely either ruined the van or ruined the shelter. Anyway, to Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik was once at the centre of the independent state of Ragusa from the 14th to 19th century, although during this time it was a vassal state of the Hungarian Empire and Ottoman Empire, paying tribute to remain independent. Nevertheless, they had a unique system of rule whereby every month a new leader called a rector would be selected, and they would serve 1 month in office in the palace of the rector, and after this month they were no longer allowed to serve again for 2 years. We have arrived in Dubrovnik, but currently we're walking through the narrow streets of the old town, and if you watch Game of Thrones you'll know this as King's Landing. In front of me are the steps where the shame scene in Game of Thrones was shot, where Cersei Lannister was marched through the streets to King's Landing, starting from the Citadel. Which is there, but it's not because it's CGI.
Shorn of secrets.
Apparently one of the best things to do in the old town is to walk around the entire town along the town walls, but we went to do it and it cost €35 to walk around the town walls. Absolutely scandalous, so we won't be doing that, but we are going to keep walking around the narrow streets to see what we can find. One thing I have done is I bought a hat to replace the one that I've lost, so now I've got a nice souvenir hat from Croatia.
Time of leisure, but I only want to discuss a few matters with...
We've now finished in Dubrovnik and we're going to head towards Split. We're not going to make it there today because it's about 3 hours away. We also don't know where we're going to be staying tonight. We don't know if we're going to stay at a campsite or on the side of the road. The next day. I didn't show you where we slept last night. We just slept in a supermarket car park, which is the first supermarket we've slept in the entire trip. But now we're gonna head to Split. We have arrived in Split, and just look at that bay behind me. We drove all the way up the Croatian coast on the way from Dubrovnik, and the Croatian coast has been gorgeous. Today though, the first thing we're going to be doing in Split is going to see Diocletian's Palace. Diocletian's Palace is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and most popular tourist attraction in Split. But right next to it is the world's oldest cathedral that is still in use today, the Cathedral of St. Domnius, which is over 1400 years old. Diocletian's Palace was the retirement villa of the old Roman Emperor Diocletian about 1700 years ago, but more recently it is known as Meereen from Game of Thrones. The streets around the palace of Diocletian were filmed to shoot the scenes in the streets of Meereen. The dungeon that we're in now under the palace is actually where Daenerys kept her dragons in the TV show. Now that we've seen all the free parts of the palace, we're gonna walk around the rest of Split and try and find somewhere to eat. We've come to get some food and Jack ordered a pippy drink, which the waiter told us is Croatia's version of Fanta, and in the 80s it was proper famous because the advert had a model, Miss Croatia, coming out of the sea with a white top on that was wet and obviously see-through, so everyone used to buy it, but now it's not as popular. Before heading back to the van, I brought you to a viewpoint to overlooking Split. Look at that view. Split might be the noisiest city I've ever been to because every tree you walk past just has hundreds of cicadas making the noise that they make, and this goes on throughout the entire city. It's 10 o'clock and we've pulled over in a Tommy's car park and made ourselves a butty for tea. But we've been driving for ages trying to find somewhere to stay, so tomorrow we're just going to have a chill day. We're going to drive up to a campsite and we're going to check in a campsite all day so that we know we have somewhere to stay, and we're going to do some laundry and just chill in the pool.